right. I forgot my water. One sec. Alrighty, there we go. It's freaking hot up in this piece. Okay. So hello, and welcome back to Mecha Mondays. I am your host, your pilot, I guess, Fraggeth. And today I have a special treat in the form of Metal Wolf Chaos XD. It is a re-release of a 2004 original Xbox title. Um, I'm actually one of those lucky few that had the opportunity to play that on that format. I had a friend who had a cracked, modded, hacked Xbox at the time, and he had the game. It was very playable, even though it's Japan exclusive. The game was the original, um, and now not so exclusive, which is awesome. Now it is on nearly every platform that counts. It is on PC. It is on. Let's just leave it at that. It's on every platform that counts. Let's see what this thing does. I don't know if it's gonna like what I've done here because I've done a bit of an interesting setup because there's some cool intro cutscenes. This is a game where, oh my goodness, it is. I'm gonna show all the cutscenes and dialogue in their entirety because they are just too good to miss. Missing them would affect you negatively. They are wonderful. It is a tale of passion. It is a tale of jingoism. It is a tale of justice and grave injustice, as it happens. But this is this is by From Software, and a lot of people, and I'm only coming to this realization belatedly. A lot of people don't seem to realize that From Software existed before Dark Souls. They did. Oh boy, howdy did they. They made some of the best, some really entertaining games. One of their hallmarks is there tends to be a bit of jank um, and weirdness, but they're cool. Take for instance Armored Core, which is a series I recommend to absolutely anyone. Those are fantastic games. The plots make no sense, but they're not supposed to. The plot in this makes a little sense, but only in the loosest possible fashion. Let's see if this does what I hope it'll do. Please. Uh-oh. Yes! Yes! It begins! Alright. So I'm gonna mostly let the game speak for itself, so I'm gonna shut up now.
Verifying the target 1,300 feet below. Please complete boarding procedures before getting in.
Roger that. Have a ton of tickets. Let's party!
like they love you so much. They're not gonna let you go.
No problem. You guys are roast chicken.
Great work, President. But you still have a delicious dessert coming.
So, well, back to Metal Wolf Chaos. Welcome. That is but a taste. I am going to have to tweak the sound because the music, while absolutely superb, is very loud in relation to everything else. Totally great for gaming, but when you want to hear the actual dialogue, it is difficult. So I'm trying to make that as easy as possible. I'm going to crank this to about 60. Leave that at 50. I might have to pull that down to like 45. That should do it. I'm going to start a new file. I've already started one, but I'm going to take a new one. I have tweaked my controls a bit. I just have to remember what I did for that. Alright. I'm going to start a new game.
By the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, freedom was dead in America. Beginning with a large-scale military coup d'etat that erupted in various cities throughout the nation, the rebels seized power in all the central institutions of government. The entire nation appeared to have fallen completely into the hands of the coup d'etat forces. However, one final hope in opposing the coup d'etat forces remained. This final hope being the U.S. President himself. Michael Wilson, the 47th President of the United States, equipped with a special mobile armored ops suit developed in secret by the military, boldly waged his own personal war alone to take back America's freedom.
Get out my special ops suit, Jody.
It looks like a fancy party is about to start. This kind of party is a first for me. Mr. President?
Okay, let's party! Welcome to the White House.
Welcome.
The people outside look really scary, Mr. President.
There
Mr.
we
President,
go. The controls locked
escape
up there
via
for a
the...
second. I don't know. What's going on?
Now I'll open the entryway to the underground base. Please
So,
give your guests some face time
welcome
with
to
the
the White
Commander-in-Chief.
We enjoy our stay here. They make us feel welcome. So, in every level, there are a number of these things, which, I'm gonna switch my weapons in a sec.
A musician was among the POWs you rescued.
POWs. Switch to my precious bazooka. So in every level there's a bunch of collectibles in the form of POWs and these green energy things, and wow, it's not loud. So there's that energy pod. You get, I think it's 4 energy pods, you basically get an additional life bar, a la, say, Metroid. I'm going to turn audio volume down even further. For sound effects, that can go way down. Crank that down to like 40. I get that down to like 35. That should do it. That'll be better. A bit more manageable. Still loud, but we'll live with it. So, you got a bunch of troopers with like
Sorry to keep you waiting,
M16s
Mr.
or
President.
whatever. These will do nothing to me. Oh. You get graded on your
Enter
performance.
the
I'm not
underground
doing
base
much right
using
now.
this
I'm being
oversized
kinda-
back door here.
One of the
The
primary
enemy are
ways
just
for moving
lowly
around
foot
is
soldiers.
this
Even if
air
they aim at
dash,
you and
which
fire,
is
they're
a way
no
to
match
cancel
for
it
your
and make it go
special
a lot
heavy
quicker.
mobile armor.
But I don't have the knack. You can also use it to just boost forward like that, but that's super slow. Also have a sniper rifle. I don't actually remember how to zoom in, so we're not going to worry about it. Mostly, automatic weapons are great in this game. Not so much the assault rifle tree, though there are weapons that are pretty good there. The real highlight is the machine guns tree, which has all sorts of precious loveliness, like twin-linked Gatling cannons and the like. But let's blow this thing. Don't like it being here. Get a Chinook off my lawn.
Stop it, Michael.
So that's the president.
Don't shoot at your father, Michael.
That's the former president, and he is our father. We are the current president, 47th. And we are a special people. We are members of this great nation of America. So this was made in the height of post 9/11 American jingoism by the Japanese as sort of a piss take on American exceptionalism.
I'll be back.
Which they've been doing for ages, but it is truly most charming of the art.
Mr. President, the Eagle Star is beyond here. Get going before the enemy chases after you. Proceed ahead while destroying anything that stands in your way. Switching over your weapons depending on the situation is the main key to fighting. Try out the weapons in your backpack as you like.
So one of the key maneuvers I'm going to be doing a lot while playing this is the ground pound. Come through the air, pound the ground. These green things I want a lot of. Energy pods, they're good. I think there's a bit as well. I want to say it's got first. Yeah, there we go. Most of the weapons have, most of the levels rather, have a weapon lying around. What I'll probably do if I wind up missing one of them, I know there's two of them, I know where they are on this level. But I'm probably going to replay this level to show you a cute little trick you can do.
Mr. President, there's an aircraft hangar beyond this passageway. Now let's hurry. The aircraft hangar is behind the barrier. I'll open the barrier now. Please wait a moment.
So Jody is our assistant slash secretary, and she's fantastic.
Whoa, something quite dangerous awaits. But with missiles of that caliber, if you aim and fire, you should be able to easily shoot them down.
So, thus you learn, you can actually shoot missiles down. I'm not going to be bothering with much of that. Because I'm going to try not to get hit at all, he said as he got hit. So you can actually take these guys out real easy if you just blow up the catwalks they're standing on, like that. And that leads me to a trick I'm going to show off. Oh, come on now.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President. The
And that's why
barrier
I'll run
has
through
been
this
opened.
a second time.
Air
here that I
Force
want to
One's
get.
launch preparations will be complete soon. Well, looky here. More guests! Well, I guess they won't be voting for you next term.
Mr.
There you are.
President, the enemy is taking aim at Air Force One. Please be careful.
So, for starter weapons, this assault rifle is spectacular. It does a lot of work. So when I'm not ground pounding, I'm probably shooting the assault rifle. Mostly I'm going to ground pound a lot, to the exclusion of many other available attacking techniques. Right now this is just on a timer, because I've got to escape to onto Air Force One. And so we're going to do that.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President.
How's that for a ticketless chicken?
Spectacular cutscene coming up.
Just another day at the Oval Office, huh, Mr. President? Welcome to Air Force One. Like they were ever invited. They're definitely...
Michael! Richard!
Mr. President, it looks like this party is just getting started.
So we just got a brief introduction to Richard Hawk. We have not been properly introduced. Richard Hawk is very probably one of the best villains ever. He is incredibly charming. Just as Jodie, our assistant slash secretary, is probably one of the best assistant secretary voice operators in ever. She is special, and she hasn't even gotten started yet. So got some new weapons, both of which are actually worthwhile. A lot of the weapons you'll find in the missions are kind of because they're fairly low tier. But there is a weapons development system in the game, which helps. So what it says here, saving the citizen has increased your economy rating in White House to 12. Basically that acts as a score multiplier for your the money received for running the mission. And there is a corresponding saving the scientist has increased your technology rating in the White House. And that gets you rare metals. It's a score multiplier for rare metals. These are resources you need in order to develop and build weapons. I'll show off the various trees. And by rescuing musicians, this is all from like that one POW box that I broke open. You can't blow those up with explosives. You will kill the people inside. That is not ideal. So you have to use bullet weapons. That's pretty easy though, since you start out with those and they usually put fairly short work to them. I'm probably going to put most of my cash into machine guns early and go from there. Railguns late game, I know, can once you get like some of the higher ranked versions, you can just one-shots most of the bosses in the game. Not the final boss, he's a bit tricky. So I've been mentioning FromSoft and Armored Core. Oh, I've got a voiceover this. This doesn't have a voiceover. President Michael Wilson's flight from the White House cemented Vice President Richard Hawk's hold on the country. With the Pentagon, Congress, and every other core institution in America firmly in his grasp, Hawk was free to thrust his depravity upon the country in the name of revolution. The land of the free was free no more. But let me tell you the story of a man who stood against that tide, who believed in his own justice, even when it seemed the whole country had turned against him. DNN correspondent Peter McDonald.
Jody, update me as to the status of the nation.
The Pentagon, the United Nations, and all central government institutions have fallen into the hands of the Vice President.
Have they?
Mr. President, believe in your own justice. I'm sure your father would have told you the same.
Jody, how's my schedule look for today?
You've got a conference and dinner party at the Japanese embassy regarding wildlife protection.
Oh yeah. Sorry, but I'll have to cancel that. I'm heading out to save America. Can you let them know I won't be able to make it?
Yes, Mr. President.
He's busy.
To my beloved fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your American justice and freedom supporter. First of all, what I would like to tell each and every one of you is this. Recent events were not a mere coup d'etat, but rather a revolution to correct the wrongs in the United States of America. To our regret, our nation is in a crisis situation. Since 2010, domestic terrorism problems have increased rapidly. Economic disputes originating from the exhaustion of fossil fuels and the sudden rise in unemployment due to the influx of large-scale immigration. Neither the current president nor the American government took actions to address these various problems. On the contrary, they have filled their own pockets adhering to terrorist cells. To correct this situation, Richard Hawk, Arizona insurrection hero and vice president of the old government, and the U.S. military rose to the task at hand. Much like our ancestors did, based in a belief of winning freedom, and based in the belief of an independent war, and based in the belief in this great nation. However, to our regret, an evil to disobey this belief exists in the United States of America too. And here is that evil. This villainous terrorist who first appeared in Washington and began his unjust rampage goes by the alias Metal Wolf. His current whereabouts are unknown. While all of America will be under martial law until Metal Wolf is caught, please do not confuse the issues at hand. Without fail, the U.S. military elite forces, with a combined strength of 1.5 million, promise to smash this unforgivable evil to pieces. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your special remedy for all kinds of evil.
So, that was spectacular. So I'm going to replay that mission
Currently,
real quick.
fortunately though, because the enemy for this mission, good luck and
I'm going to back out so you can hear all of that. It's important. So for every mission, Jody will have an intro dialogue, and these are also fantastic. I
currently a coup d'etat army encircles the White House and is now closing in. Fortunately though, because the enemy force is at a stage where it is still requesting reinforcements, it seems possible to get away now. While eliminating the enemies in your way, please reach the underground base promptly and board Air Force One. This mission goes by the call name In the Nick of Time, the Great Escape from the White House. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
So, she has a name for every single mission, and they're all perfect. In just they make no sense half the time, but they're all perfect. So first things first, I'm getting rid of this handgun. Handguns are I've had very bad luck with handguns. Even in the original release, I did not have very good luck with those. Sniper rifles have their place. Where are you? Multi-missiles. I'll need that later. This I won't need too much, but it's pretty nifty. In fact, I will use it a bunch this mission. I'm going to... They let you drag and drop stuff with the mouse, which is just, God, so good. Actually, I'm gonna do that. So I'm starting with the... And I'll switch to that in a minute. Okay, now for development. Investment, I want to invest into machine guns. Where are you? Let's see. Yes, do it again. Okay. We haven't gotten to Vulcans yet. Or Gatlings yet. Let's see. Which ones are... So energy rounds are useful as well. And if you see gun type, it says light arms. Light arms are the things that can break the cages, the POW boxes, without actually killing the people in them. It's kind of important. So you can see various changes in capacity and whatnot. I'm not going to worry about these for now. Mostly I need to save up for further developments. I think after this set, I think the next development level will get me to my first Gatling, which will be good. Other than that, we're pretty much okay. We're not too terribly pressed. So with that, though, I've got 3 of 5. It's 5 energy pods you get. For every 5, you get a additional health bar, basically. So with that, I think we're set to go. The trick I want to show off, and it's small and pointless, but this serves to...
Get out my special ops suit, Jody.
I'm going to skip this cutscene a second time.
The people outside look really scary, Mr. President. Mr. President, escape via the Eagle Star in the
Alright, for a
underground
bit
base.
of cash as well
Now
as
I'll
show off
open
a
the
cute
entryway
trick
to the
you can
underground
do
base.
that'll allow you
Please
to
give your guests some face
skip
time with
an
the
entire phase
Commander-in-Chief.
here. So, things with quick boost dash and don't ever do it on the ground. It does not work the way you'd think. So in a lot of ways, this game serves as kind of a weird missing link between Armored Core 3 and Armored Core 4. Because it's showing, oh, let's, you know, from using a rather clunkier interface to a much more streamlined one in terms of actual gameplay. That's gonna get about where I want to be. With the mouse, you can do some pretty quick turning.
Sorry to
There
keep you
is
waiting,
some
Mr. President.
acceleration you have to be aware of, but it's pretty good now. So notes on the port, or notes on From rather. So like a lot of From games, difficulty is wildly inconsistent.
Mr. President, the Eagle Star is beyond here. Get going before the enemy chases after you. Proceed ahead while destroying
Difficulty
anything that
does
stands
whatever
in
the
your
hell
way.
it wants.
Switching over your
sometimes.
weapons,
So,
depending on the situation, is the main
it'll
key to
vacillate
fighting.
between
Try out the
incredibly
weapons in your
easy,
backpack
like
as
this
you
one,
like.
to a lesser extent the next mission. The next mission, San Francisco, is a bit more normalized. East
Mr.
feels
President,
about right.
there's an aircraft hangar beyond this passageway. Now let's
So
hurry.
here.
The aircraft hangar is behind the barrier. I'll open the
So I
barrier
wanna pop
now.
one of those. I was too slow. Well, so you can, if you're good, like I'm not, you can pop, if you just pop one of these, it just skips this phase entirely.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President.
Whatever.
The barrier has
More
been
cash.
opened. Air Force One's launch preparations will be complete soon. Well, looky here. More guests! Well, I guess
So
they
this
won't be
grenade
voting for you
launcher,
next term.
fires a bunch of napalm on the ground.
enemy is
It's
taking
really
aim at
good
Air
for
Force
infantry
One.
clusters.
Please be careful.
And the main thing to avoid is having these troops get anywhere near Air Force One, as before. The range of your stomp in terms of the damage range is colossal. When it says cool or nice, that's kind of like a score adjudicating measure. If it says nice, it's I think like 400 points. If it says cool, it's like 1,000. So high scores are good scores. Go home.
Sorry to keep you
Yeah, never mind. Silly military. I've got everything there is to get here. And we'll skip that. Whatever. I did better the previous run, but whatever. Okay, I think that gets me in territory to, so economy, technology, energy pod, those are all showing, you know, I've gotten everything when it's blue. This will show the total. So there's a bunch of energy pods in this next mission.
The coup d'etat army
don't
that
actually
occupies San
remember where all of them
Francisco
are.
still runs rampant and deprives 780,000 citizens of their freedom. Target areas that the enemy force uses as the base of their military activities are built around the town. Target areas where enemy forces are concentrated are dangerous, but you can weaken their morale by destroying enemy armies. Destroy all target areas, annihilate the enemy force, and make the liberation of San Francisco shine as a beacon of hope in your counteroffensive. This mission goes by the call name Metropolitan Recapture Operation from Cisco Sighted Road. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
I don't know why they translated that as Chisato. I do not know. So development, I do not have enough for the next in line yet. Not missile launchers. Missile launchers are right. There's actually wooden bazookas I need to consider getting, because it allows you to do a mountain of damage if you can get the range right. I need 50k. I'm gonna get most of that from the next run. This next mission is immensely profitable. So getting as many POWs as you can is great. If you want to do early game grinding, San Francisco is a great spot for it. Let's see. If I develop into bazookas, it's gonna take a couple levels before I can get anything. I have to get it to level 2. Now I have to check to see if... And now I don't know if I have enough cash to build them. And I don't. No, it's, I think, level 3 or 4 then. There is a bazooka that does little cluster bomblets, and it is incredibly useful. Very worth having. Assault rifles I don't need to worry about. Let's see. Firepower 150 compared to 95, which is what I'd be going for with the energy. Energy weapons shoot energy bullets. You have less concern with total ammo with most of the energy weapons. They either have massive amounts of energy, or they massive amounts of ammo, or they recharge. And I can't build this one, so I'm not going to worry about it. So having energy weapons and non-energy weapons is often a good idea. With that, so basic plan of action is investing in both. Oh, what is my screen doing here? I hope it's not doing it elsewhere. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Sorry, I interrupted myself. Invest into both bazookas and invest into machine guns early, and that will probably get me it'll get me most of the way to where I need to be. I will want to invest into railguns. Probably later.
Mr. President, how's the skydiving?
Not too bad.
San Francisco, occupied by coup d'etat forces, will be the starting point of our counteroffensive. And here's the starting grid.
Okay.
That's quite a gentlemanly landing, sir, befitting only of a U.S. president.
The gentleman in me goes off the clock at 5 p.m. And now I'm gonna take America back!
So,
Annihilate the enemy army by
one thing
destroying
you're
the
probably
target areas
noticing
where the
is
troops
that the
have
audio
amassed.
is a little
Destroy
funky.
all the target areas scattered throughout and take back the town.
Money. So this is a game that rarely cares about collateral damage, which is good, but to the topic of audio. For whatever reason, this port has some very interesting audio issues. Controls are fantastic. The controls great. There's a bit of forced, not acceleration, but turn speed issues you have to deal with. Very noticeable on a mouse, but if you crank the sensitivity way up, it's not too bad.
Mr. President,
So,
POWs are being transported in that cage. Destroy the cage with light firearms and rescue the people inside.
this is our formal introduction to POWs. I think one of these is holding one of the energy pods.
Some scientists
Yes, it
were among the
is.
POWs you rescued. They were used to develop new weapons for the military. Way to go, Mr. President! Now the POW can be safely liberated.
Let's see. There's one over here as well. No. Where are you?
The enemy
there it
forces
is.
have even
One of
captured
these
San
Air
Francisco's
Force
cable
boxes.
cars. We can't let them get away with using the symbol of this great American city.
Yeah. Fuck them for using cable cars. That's not okay. I think we can all agree it's not okay that they do that, right? Right. I agree. I agree with myself. And her. I agree with Jody a lot, mostly because if you don't agree with her,
The
she's
time limit
a very scary
self-destruct device
person.
has been activated. Hurry
Oh,
and destroy it.
that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, God.
Mr.
That's
President, what
not
are you
what I
up
wanted
to?
to do.
I thought I told you to use light
She sure did.
firearms to destroy it.
so, control problems. And I apologize.
The
I was hoping to
POWs have
redo
been
this mission
safely
anyway,
freed.
so now I have an excuse. Or is that the one that I just blew up like an idiot? Yes. So, I didn't blow up the one over here, so I can do that. I'm gonna be using that
Those
bazooka
annoying soldiers
a
are
lot.
coming in swarms. shotguns with a wide firing area or machine guns with a high rapid fire rate are effective here. Try out the weapons in your backpack as you like. The yellow icons on your radar are designated targets in each area. Destroy each target and blow the area to oblivion. Reinforcements come from the adjacent areas. When there are too many reinforcements, try attacking from another area. You could call it winning by retreating. Mr. President,
I kept
the
having
target
a bad
area
angle
has
on
been
that.
destroyed. This has been a momentous first job.
So the ground pound, you bounce off sort of when you hit an object that you're not going to kill instantly with it. Stuff of a certain mass, typically. So I was not being particularly careful there. So you'll notice on the right-hand side is a bunch of gauges. You see this yellow thing that keeps going up and down and down and down and up again. That is my boost gauge. You'll see a green line and a bunch of green boxes. These are my health. Each one of those boxes is basically another health bar, or layer of shielding. I think is how they relate it in the game. And the blue thing is my tension gauge, and that is relevant for activating super mode. And you will see that at the end of this level, and a few other levels where I need to actually use that. I say need, I mean it's awesome. Makes me feel good inside. Alrighty, there's one more here that I have to get. It does a good job of showing you that stuff on the map. Objective, 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 objective. It doesn't show the secondary objectives though.
The target with the spinning antenna is the enemy's communications facility. From this facility, when communications are made, large numbers of reinforcements join the battle. It's really a nuisance, so destroy it first. Mr. President, destroy every target area and annihilate the enemy army.
I'm not going to do that. So I'd rather go for completion times, because it's better to do maybe a bit less well and then farm up cash that way. Alrighty. So that's just ammo. Ammo is pretty much cumulative. You get a lot of it. Nothing to worry about there. Alrighty. Where am I? Yes, I think now I move on along. Here we go.
You succeeded in saving the POWs.
So, more of those, which is good. Shield unit is, shield units basically will restore your health. I haven't been taking much damage. I may take a little at the end of this mission. Sometimes the boss likes to, get off a nice little surprise shot at the end there, which can be a bit frustrating. And now we're introduced to actual enemies. Tanks.
Whoa! Well, if it isn't the pride of the United States military. M1 Abrams tank. I never thought they would join the fight.
So if you're wondering about the atrocious voice acting,
High-powered weapens like
and
bazookas
why
are
someone
effective
would
against
add
the
such
tough tank
horrible
armor.
voice acting,
Please don't hold back on
well,
using the weapons in your backpack.
this is actually that is original to the game. That is not new. That is, the original was very much like this. The only real change is English text now. There's English text in a lot more places. There was a bunch of English text before, which made the game immensely playable. I was sort of confused as to why it never came here, but considering the basic premise of the game is there is a coup d'etat, revolution, terrorist attack in the United States of America. Yeah, that's probably it. What to do the other thing? I'm going to do that. So for this bit, I'm going to just blow them up. Don't have to worry about sacrificing troops. They're all rebels, recidivists, and just generally bad people. We are very much the equivalent of the northern United States in this particular game, in the sense that we are wearing blue for starters. So, I haven't been shooting much. Shooting is tricky.
A musician was Mr. President.
I
The
missed that one
POW
too.
rescue
Shoot.
failed.
Another thing that's nice, though, is that POWs and such are cumulative as well. So
Mr. President, there
I
are
could go
5
back and
areas
then just go for
remaining.
the other
Destroy
one,
them one after
and
the
it'll be
other.
fine. Which is a feature I'm very fond of. It is a game that lends itself well to playing the game well. It's very arcadey. Shotguns count as light weapons or not, and that's my concern here. There's the tank. I knew there was one back here. So tanks, when they're going away from you, are quite sweet. The quick and the dead. I'm quick and he's dead. So just get right up in its grill and shoot and slam and shoot and slam. This is fairly basic stuff. It's not special.
Mr.
Just bad
President,
at video
there are
games.
3 areas remaining. Just a bit more, Mr. President.
Alright, as I recall, I cannot ground pound those hostage containers either. So a huge part of the game is remembering where on your weapons are. So you can have 8 weapons at once, which is of course greatly in excess of anything you could ever possibly need. Except we will definitely need don't hit that troop, hit that thing. There we go. The reason we're doing this is because getting more kills means more money. There's another one that's fairly well hidden here. Just need to find where it is. There we go. Good. Alright, it's in the southern end here. That's why I got my machine gun out. So you'll find augments, defensive augments, offensive augments. Those basically provide a temporary defensive or offensive boof. Get back here, you. Yeah, take it. The pride and joy of the American Armed Forces. M1 Abrams tank. Oh, double this. There we go. Alright, so there's one back here. There's a weapon somewhere too. I always forgot. In the 2 trial runs I did of this one. Oh, okay. Alright, I know where I need to be now. Very good. So, I'm gonna scoot this way. Which is a whole lot of not much going on, I know. Bear with it, there's a reason for this. Hey, I have to pop this thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Offensive augment, which is going to make this thing go down like it was nothing. There's a weapon. This where? There it is. 350. I don't even remember what that is. So, I'm gonna pop this thing.
Mr. President, there's 1 area remaining. Show them the
And
true heart of America.
For that, we're gonna bring out a multi-missile system because it's important to us.
The enemy forces have usurped a building, making it a target. The building was opened 2 years ago on April 25th. It's named the Halcon Denkai China Building. Each season it's decorated with gorgeous lights. Their Christmas tree tops them all. Over 800,000 people came to see it last December. For such a long time, I've been wondering how lovely that gorgeous building would look if it were destroyed. I feel bad for the owner, but hey, let's smash the hell out of it.
So, as you can now see, Jody is truly a treasure. She is truly one of the greatest things about this game.
Now that's what I expect from a U.S. president. Nice thinking on your feet.
Because of this.
Uh-oh, Mr. President. Could this be a thank you for destroying the area? It looks like you're going to receive a lovely present.
We're not going to get to see this thing do very much.
That fat boy needs a presidential diet. Fat.
How do you like me now?
Wow! What a perfect display of your talents, Mr. President.
Not really, Jody. Nothing to get excited about.
The enemy forces in San Francisco have been annihilated. Nice work, Mr. President.
Sure.
All in a day's work, huh, Mr. President?
Nope, we've only just begun. The fight will continue. As long as the America inside my heart is still alive.
Patriotism, ladies and gents. The energy pod I missed was the one in that first exploding jobby, so I'm going to go back and grab that, and then I'm going to go back and get those two that I blew up like an idiot. That should give me enough seed capital to really put in work here. So you get a lot from that mission. This mission is excellent for farming early on. You have collected enough energy pods to upgrade your mobile armor suit, which is good. A sharp rebuke of cannon fire echoed across San Francisco as President Wilson commenced his counter-offensive against the vice president's regime. The liberation of the city struck a chord in the hearts of a small band of patriots whose alabaster souls still believed in the freedom that Richard Hawk had stripped away. A movement had been born, and it wanted Hawk to get the hell out of Dodge. The wings of justice were spreading like an eagle and getting ready to soar. DNN correspondent Peter McDonald.
Mr. President, the Information Management Department received an email that might interest you.
An email?
Actually, it's a sound file.
Play it for me.
Yes, boss.
Are seeking volunteers to oppose the coup d'etat forces. Awaiting response from fellow sympathizers.
The sound quality is terrible. Could you try and contact the person who sent the email?
Sure, of course, boss.
Maybe America's faith in freedom hasn't faded just yet. And Jody, I'm taking back our country, going from west to east.
Go west. I mean, east, young man. Huh? Mr. President, we got a message from the Information Management Department. The coup d'etat forces are making an announcement on national television.
Connect me.
Dear fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is overflowing love and daily benevolence. Today,
we bring you a most unfortunate bulletin. Last evening, the city of San Francisco suffered extensive damage at the hand of Metal Wolf, who suddenly appeared. In addition to slaughtering unresisting citizens, this heinous terrorist took citizens hostage and made an unjust demand for the release of violent criminals and the sum of $500 million. This vicious act could easily be the worst in U.S. history. Metal Wolf's pilot is meaner than Satan himself, and we will not permit him to get away with acts like this. We Americans will never yield to such evil. We Americans will obtain our own justice. Although martial law continues, my fellow Americans, please bear with our situation. To defend this lovable nation, let's lead the brave fight together. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where our motto, justice over theory, is your motto.
We've been made public enemy number 1. How about seeking exile or asking for help from other nations?
No. I'm the president. I can't be the one to start a war in this country. I'll be the one to wage the war.
Mr. President.
Hey, Jody, update me on the situation in the West.
I'm sure there's a fine line there, but I don't know what it is. So we're
The
gonna go
coup
back to
d'etat
Frisco.
army that occupies San Francisco target area. Good luck.
Alright, so I'm going to development. I'm gonna pop more money into is that my first Gatling? Can't remember. Yeah, here we go. So, firepower slightly less than that of the machine gun, but or the starting assault rifle. Let's see. I want to invest in bazookas as well. It's not the M2. I think it's the next one, so I'm gonna invest one more time. No, it isn't. It must be further along. There we go. So these are really good. But I can't afford it right now, because of course I can't. Oh, wow. Can I manufacture even the next one up? No, I cannot. However, I do have a bunch of new weapons that I got, which I'm going to be equipping now. These count as, they do count as light arms, so that's good. So, to show a point of comparison, so this is a fairly early model, and this one isn't very good. So it's actually probably one of the worst machine guns available. That's a point of comparison. instead. We're going to go to swap that. I'm going to swap that. So I just have to bop through 2 cycle changes when I want to switch. Oh, these count as light as well. I didn't realize that, so I could probably do that instead. Each individual weapon has its own ammo pool. Which is, as you can imagine, pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna go with dueling it out. Alright. We're gonna keep that cluster missile as well, because that is so great for the end part, for dealing with that quickly. Alrighty. Now this time we're gonna get it all correct. We're not gonna muck it up.
Annihilate the enemy army by destroying the target areas where the troops have amassed. Destroy all the target areas scattered throughout and take back the town.
So these squares in the middle will be familiar to anyone who's played them some Armored Core. Squares in the middle indicate an area in which I can target something. So that is a huge targeting area. I'm going to spray and pray. So we're going to do these. And as you can see, no big thing.
The enemy forces have even captured San Francisco's cable cars. We can't let them get away with using the symbol of this great American city.
First one that I missed.
A timed self-destruct device is attached. The time-limit self-destruct device has been activated. Hurry and destroy it. A musician was among the POWs you rescued. He was forced to play the Chinese air hoop.
Yeah, it sounds like a war crime,
The
probably.
yellow icons on your radar are designated targets in each area. Destroy each target and blow the area to oblivion. Reinforcements come from the adjacent areas. When there are too many reinforcements, try attacking from another area. You could call it winning by retreating.
There we go.
Mr. President, the target area has been destroyed. This has been a momentous first job.
Alright, I should have started with this one. Okay.
The target with the spinning antenna is the enemy's communications facility. From this facility, when communications are made, large numbers of reinforcements join the battle. It's really a nuisance, so destroy it first. Those annoying soldiers are coming in swarms. Shotguns with a wide firing area or machine guns with a high rapid fire rate are effective here. Try out the weapons in your backpack as you like.
So make sure I got both of these. Did. So now I need to go for the one on the left.
High-powered weapons like bazookas are effective against the tough tank armor. Please don't hold back on using the weapons in your backpack.
Here we go. Do not want to get hit by the tank cannon. It does hurt. energy. There we go. So, enemies have a nasty tendency to shoot down your bazooka rounds, but not so much your grenade launcher rounds. This changes. Later there are some pretty goofy weapon options for this way.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were used to develop new weapons for the military.
So, that I think gets me where I need to be. Enough for all of that. Oh, I didn't go behind, so there is one more.
Mr. President, there are 5 areas remaining. Destroy them one after the other.
Alrighty, I'll take care of these first. Run away from me, boy. Skip and jump a bit. So yeah, as you can see, it takes an excessive amount of light weapons fire to take down tanks, as you'd imagine. So we are going to not. We're just not. There we go. Wasn't high enough when I started. Pretty quick and dirty to do those. As long as you know what you're doing, right? Which I have.
Enemy forces have usurped a building, making it a target.
No big
The
deal.
building was opened. Mr. President, there are 3 areas remaining. Just a bit more, Mr. President.
So the area I think I missed last time. Yeah, it's right here. These two.
Way to go, Mr. President. Now the POW can be safely liberated.
Found stuff. Time it right. You can start a dash and then do the ground pound right afterwards. I don't have the knack at the moment. So starting bazooka is adequate for what you'll fight early on, but not so much for later. Away from me. Is the one that I haven't done? Oh, there we go.
Mr. President, the POW rescue failed.
Oh no, that's no good. Okay. That's bad because I want to have that cleared. Oh, that hit me. Oops. So napalm does actually work on tanks. Maybe not as well as I'd like, but it does work. So what happened there is the tank had run over the POW box that I had forgotten about entirely. I did not know it was there until that just happened. I just went through the building. That's less than ideal. Just avoid those Gatling guns.
Mr. President, there's 1 area remaining. Show them the true heart of America.
This is dash canceling. That's how you move quick. I have not been doing it properly. Go, and now we just start unloading on these.
The suspiciously tall targets are enemy headquarter installations. The morale of the troops is rising due to the HQ installations. Destroy the HQ facilities first and eradicate their will to fight.
Now that's what I expect from a U.S. president. Nice thinking on your feet.
And now we just take care of the boss real quick. Just do not want
That
to get
boy
hit by
needs
that.
a presidential diet. I guess he's had too bad. Wow! What a perfect display of your talents, Mr. President.
Not really, Jody. I'm just too good.
The enemy forces in San Francisco have been annihilated. Nice work, Mr. President.
Sure. Okay, so I'm still missing one box of dudes, which disappoints me. I actually went pretty well. Chain combo is not as easy as it looks, and I do not make it look easy. Okay. Very good, very good, very good. Part of me wants to go back and get those last three guys in that one box. So I'm
The
going to do
cooted
that.
up target.
And I'm going to ignore
Good luck, and
everything
God-
else. Let's go to develop. Let's go to manufacture. No, investment. No, manufacture. And we're going to go to our precious, precious machine guns. We're going to make a 1 and a 2. Now we're going to go into investment. To bazookas, and we are going to hope and pray. I think that's the one, and I just need to save up the resources for it. Trisecting shells, that might be it. I think that's it. Okay. And I'm going to want to build 2 of those, because those are going to be a big deal for me later. Which I should be able to do after this last run. Now let's go to equip. And equip our 1 and our gamma. There we go. 2. That is going to be a substantial upgrade. They do less damage per bullet, but you just hemorrhage bullets. They are quite good. Okay, so we are going to ignore everything but that last group of dudes that I just totally forgot existed. Meanwhile, in the skies above San Francisco.
Annihilate the enemy army by destroying the target areas where the
So
troops
this
have
is
amassed.
fast movement.
Destroy all the target areas scattered throughout and take back the town.
And it ignores your overheat, basically, because it doesn't know what to do. To do this, I'm basically jockeying between my
The enemy
forward and
forces have even
sideways
captured
motion while
San
angling
Francisco's
like so.
cable cars. We can't let them get away with using the symbol of this great American city.
Etc., etc., etc.
The yellow icons on your radar are designated targets in each area. Destroy each target and blow the area to oblivion. Reinforcements come from the adjacent
Not
areas.
particularly
When there are
effective
too
at
many
dealing with
reinforcements,
these.
try attacking from another area. You
As
could
you can
call it
see.
winning by retreating.
Your
Mr.
ground pound
President,
does
the
like
target
a
area
little
has
more
been destroyed.
damage.
This has been a momentous first job.
Just do it kind of by jiggling. Like that. It just kind of works. I don't know why, but it do. Game doesn't know what to do when you've got, there we go.
The target with the spinning antenna is the enemy's communications facility. From this facility, when communications are made, large numbers of reinforcements join the battle. It's really a nuisance, so destroy it first.
I were, for instance, to speedrun this game, I would be ignoring basically all those little guys. All these, whole lot of stuff I'd be ignoring. But I'm not going to ignore it this time, because I do need resources. A direct hit, of course, does a lot more damage than a miss. But you do bounce off. I'm going to ignore these guys on the walls because they are not relevant to me. I am looking at the map for where I need to be going next.
A timed self-destruct device is... The time limit self-destruct device has been activated. Hurry and destroy it.
Mr. President, there are 5 areas remaining. Destroy them one after the other. Those annoying soldiers are coming in swarms. Shotguns with a wide firing area or machine guns with a high rapid fire rate are effective here. Try out the weapons in your backpack as you like.
So, ammunition can be tricky here if you're too profligate using your round pound. Even occasionally will relieve that particular problem. Now, tanks, as you can see, are actually quite annoying. Here we go. There we go. What's this one?
Mr. President, there are 3 areas remaining. Just a bit more, Mr. President.
So I'm going to want to switch. Oh, I must have bounced bonked off. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I keep doing that. I need to be more careful about that. And so the one I need to not destroy is this one here.
The enemy forces have usurped a building, making it a target.
The building was opened 2 years ago
I have
on
my
April
techies.
25th.
I've got my
It's named the
nerds.
Halcon Denkai China Building. Each season it's decorated with gorgeous lights. Their Christmas tree tops them all. Over 800,000 people came to see it last December. For such a long time, I've been wondering how lovely that gorgeous building would look if it were destroyed. I feel bad for the owner, but hey, let's smash the hell out of it. Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were used to develop new weapons for the military.
Mr. President,
Bonking
there's
off
one
like,
area remaining.
things there,
Show
so
them the
it's
true heart of America.
taking damage. Okay. There we go.
The
And
suspiciously
just
tall
distance.
targets are enemy headquarter installations. The morale of the troops is rising due to the
those
HQ
towers quickly 'cause
installations.
they actually
Destroy the
have,
HQ facilities first and eradicate their will to fight.
Right, out of ammo. Okay. This is a problem. Because now I have to do it the hard way. It's not ideal. Because I haven't been collecting the ammo I should have been collecting. That's why. So as you can see, that bazooka shell is extremely slow. A bunch of the bazookas are kind of slow, but they speed up pretty handily later.
a
boss the
U.S.
same way we did
president.
before.
Nice thinking on your feet. That fat boy needs a president.
And you are rendered invulnerable, as well as just dumping ammunition from all your weapons
what
out.
a perfect display of your talents, Mr. President. The enemy forces in.
So, that's how to do that fairly quickly. Okay, so resource-wise, I should be good to build 2 of those delicious, delicious bazookas. And I'm not going to go to Alcatraz. Alcatraz is tricky from what I remember. Beverly Hills is also tricky, but it's one where you can actually kind of just rerun it a million times until you get it right.
The enemy force is strengthening their suppression of Beverly Hills. This is due to information that leaked out regarding some millionaires who are amassing capital to fund a resistance. While the number of soldiers equipped with heavy firearms is great, if you pay higher attention to their attacks, they're no threat to your mobile armor. The verticals in this battle theater are violent. Consider the advantages and disadvantages in the geographical features as you destroy all the target areas in the town. This mission goes by the call name Brings Fashion Back to the Streets. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
Alright, so we're going to our development menu, we're going to manufacture, and we're going right on over. Apparently I have a flamethrower I can build. I don't remember researching those, but okay. Going over to bazookas, and we're gonna make ourselves, I'm pretty sure it's these. I'd better double check that. Or is it the BU? It might be the BU. Yeah, it's the BU, because of course it is. Do I have that one available? Yes. Okay. So, I could have actually built it already, so I'm kicking myself a smidgen. I want 2 of those. I'm going to go into investment. I'm going to put another, if I can, into machine guns, and I can indeed. And that gives me the EN and High X versions of that one I just built, which I'm not going to be able to use just yet. The EN version is slightly less damaging, but has a lot more ammo, bunch more ammo. High explosive is considerably less damaging, but it burns things. So it's kind of offloaded damage. It's okay. There's a later one that I recall, as I recall, that's better. There's also, I think, an assault rifle that has like stunning taser bullets, which is really good. Alright, Beverly Hills. Where we'll knock some jockeys off the lawn. As I recall, this is another very lucrative mission. Lots of enemies, and fairly quick, from what I remember. I don't remember where it's going to spawn us. We're okay for now. The one I'm really gonna want to get, though, and it's not for a while, I think it's another 2 researches, is twin-linked machine gun Gatlings, which are they're good. We're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to go to equip, and we are going to equip 1 and 2. So per rocket does less damage, and you do have to be a bit more conservative with ammunition. But these things are going to clear these towers like they were nothing. I am going to keep a hold of that sniper rifle just in case. That isn't going to be relevant yet. There are missions where that is going to be important. Okay. Yes. I think we are all set. I think you wind up having like 16 or so
Enemy
health bars.
explosive devices are planted all over the city of Beverly Hills. Destroy all the bombs and liberate the town.
Roger that.
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. What you're looking at is the heinous terrorist Metawolf as seen from the air. Just what will become of Beverly Hills and its stately mansions where the streets smell of money? Stay tuned as this camera and I bring you all the news you want to know.
A news heli?
Forget it. I'm going on ahead. It's a bit annoying, but not enough to call for aspirin.
You can actually shoot that
Bombs
helicopter
have been
down.
laid
I'm
out
not gonna
all
go
over
there.
town. Clean up the bombs while
The effort to
destroying
do
the
it.
radar jamming stations.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were used to develop new weapons for the military.
That's a radar jamming station. If you destroy it, the bombs will surely show up on radar.
There we go. Oh. Like that.
Finally, the bombs are showing up on radar, but not well enough for all the bombs in town to show up.
Oh, Lord! The National Guard troops have been defeated. Metal Wolf has annihilated the troops and plans to capture Beverly Hills. His endgame must...
Mr. President, that's a bomb. If approached carelessly, it will detonate. Destroy it from a safe distance.
So each of these things will like have a little dude shouting help. Let's put that up. They're pretty damaging. Another thing you can do is you can just kind of walk near it, and it'll go off. So there's some of those that I'm probably going to do that way. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Once you get the range correct on those, they are so good. Give me that money.
Oh, this looks promising. The pride of the U.S. military. Blackhawks raise their ugly heads.
Well, we tried.
Didn't I just say, if approached carelessly, it will detonate? Don't be so
Sure
lax.
did. I did. They will take an entire health bar from you. They are quite damaging. I know there's one over here somewhere, but I don't remember where. Or is it up past that? Yeah, it's past that location. Okay. Where are you? It's over there. So that's what I meant by they'll kind of blow up if you just ignore them. And I don't believe that there is anything beyond some missed score opportunities for doing that. So you're getting to see me do some serious gun swapping mojo, which I would have rather not had to do. These pillboxes also spawn enemies. Ah, there's one up there.
What now? Not again! A battalion of troops has been defeated.
Oh, put a sock in it. If you destroy the enemy radar jet, destroy all the bombs and liberate the town. A musician was among the POWs you rescued. I wonder if the vice president wants to go as far as to control the music in America.
Knowing Richard Hawk, by the way? Yeah. That guy is the full nut bar. Ah, that hit me. So I'm taking mountains of damage that I should not be having to take. So I'm not being as clever as I should be. Yes. Oh, sugar. Let's go down a bit quicker than the tanks. The Abrams tanks, rather. Where are you? Somebody shot me missile from behind. Where'd you go? There's a dude hiding. I don't remember how to get out of there. Up. Oh, something's shooting through the building. No wonder I'm confused. I'm gonna go for this radar thing first.
The defense strength is high against live ammunition.
Alright, I think there's a way to get on top of that building. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wasn't quite quick enough. Take those hits. So I can deal with that. Okay. What's up here somewhere? Let's try it from there. Okay, let's see it over there. I'm gonna try getting onto one of these buildings. This one, apparently. Ah, sugar. Try getting up here. No. Okay. How do I get up there? Is there a vaulting mechanic I don't know about? Oh, that's obvious. I should have thought about that. So, you don't even have to get up there. You just click at the box. Alright, I hear it. Oh no! I gotta be a lot more careful about that. Come on. Okay. Get somewhere where I can actually... That's the wrong button. Here's the map. Okay, I'm right there. Alright, I know what I'm doing. This is this alleyway. And there is also some other inconveniences over here. Should take care of that. Should take care of that. I missed. It's an edge. There we go. Now I need to be careful about those. I need to pop this thing first.
Mr. President,
Shit.
the fuselage damage rate is above 50%. Mr. President, I sense that you are preoccupied and your heart's not in it today.
Thanks so much, Jody. Is this thing still alive? Of course it is.
Another military military position has been destroyed. My fellow Americans, support our troops with all your hearts.
Don't worry about his yammering commentary.
I think it just landed on my head. So I think I flubbed. Did that hit me? Really? I was not far enough away. Oh well. I just have to now actually look for health and stuff by blowing up stuff containers. There's tons of these shipping containers absolutely everywhere. Very often they have things that are important. There are bombs over there. I think I need to shoot. Or just, you know, run away very, very quickly. I have run away very, very quickly. Okay, now where am I on this map? I want to circle down and down. There we go. Easy. This is pretty easy to do, but I keep throwing it right at the last minute. Don't know what's in these. There is a bunch of crates around here that's got either ammo or... Need some of this, maybe. Yeah. Light arms ammo, which I need. What dropped here? An offensive module, which I don't need as much. So, by going diagonally in the cave, it's just like, you're fine. You can boost even though I'm overheating. It's no big thing. Here we go. Much better. So, restocked on ammo pretty nicely. So yeah, it's a game that's more about execution than build theory crafting. So it is rather unlike you have a button through this? I don't know if that says yes. I knew there was one that had an underground garage. I'm so smart. Ow. There you go. Let's shoot that. Oh, okay. He must have taken damage from the explosion. That's good. There we go. Oh, that's not ideal. There's another one over here somewhere. Where are you? If your timing is just absolutely exquisite, you can basically traverse these and go up them. My timing is not exquisite. It is merely adequate. I could have sworn there was one over here somewhere. Unless it's down below. Unless I blew it up already, because I'm super intelligent. I may have already popped it, which would be embarrassing. Supposed to.
Metal Wolf has infiltrated the garden of a big mansion, the home of international superstar Money Money Gold. What business does Metal Wolf have with a $3.2 billion man? Maybe he's going to take out a loan. Oh man, he's destroying the mansion. Add destruction of personal property to the breaking and entering charges. The U.S. Constitution is downright powerless against Metal Wolf's evil.
Not exactly sure. I know there's more of these things around, and I know I'm gonna miss a bunch. So I'm trying to get as many on my first run as I can. So the first runs are easy, or are the tricky ones, and subsequent ones are just get it done as easily and as smoothly as you can. I know there's one in the mansion somewhere, nearby anyway. Oh, that works. Not gonna get too close to that. There is a weapon right over here. For an energy pod. Okay, never mind. Break it down. Ah, no, there it is. Sneaky. Okay, it's not really going to work for me. Jump. No. It's gotta be easier. Come on, jump. There we go. Okay. I want to double check over here because I think there's another one that does something like that. Very sneaky in how they place some of these guys. Tree or something. Some of the level designs are pretty entertaining. Okay. This looks familiar. Oh, now. Oh, one of them hit the missile, not the chopper. There we go. Alright, there's a bomb over there. I can see it. Not these guys, like on zit. Boom. I think there's one of the bomb trucks coming, so I need to be a little bit cautious. There we go. I missed. Oh god. I missed. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was worth it. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had the wrong weapons out. And I didn't remember to switch properly. Okay. I should have been paying attention to that. Ah, that
Metal
was
Wolf has
suboptimal.
control of the entire town. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. But our coverage of these events will continue. Because yes, The pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
You'll grow to
I'm
recognize that.
sure
word.
those wealthy fat cats will repair the damage, making their homes even more beautiful than before. Nice work, Mr. President.
Yeah, I missed a bunch of stuff in that one. Bring fashion back to the streets. So as you can see, it's pretty profitable. I just got $500,000 from that. So special mention goes to this game's unbelievably good soundtrack. In liberating Beverly Hills, the president gained the financial support of some of America's wealthiest citizens who poured money into his campaign. Anti-Hawk sentiment had a new hero, and that hero's name was Michael Wilson. Later, Hollywood would bring his thrilling story to life in the blockbuster action biopic Metal Wolf, which topped box office charts for 42 weeks and won multiple Oscars. Naturally, the film's theme song and #1 single was penned by international superstar Manny Gold, one of Beverly Hills' own. DNN correspondent Peter McDonald.
By the way, Jody, what happened with yesterday's email?
The Information Management Department succeeded in contacting the source of the email.
Really? Let me hear it.
I am the one who formed the resistance to put a stop to Richard Hawk and his recklessness. Right now I'm aiming for a united uprising and seek volunteers. Metal Wolf, we eagerly await your rampage.
Great. They haven't sold out Hope yet.
Mr. President, I haven't been this happy since that supermarket going out of business sale when I was searching for my favorite candy and I found the last box all covered in dust at the back of the rack.
Jody, she's special.
And the expiration date was still good.
Life's little victories. She knows all about it.
I know the feeling, Jody. Brief me on the next battlefield.
I know the feeling.
Sure, Mr. President.
So, as you can see, it's fantastic. It's everything you could ever hope for.
The enemy forces wow, the verticals in this. Good luck and
though. Let's go to our development tree and see what we got here. Let's invest once again into our machine guns. G200. It's expensive though. Here we go. The GGRH is very much about what we want to be getting. Here we go. This is it, right here. This is where it begins. The GGRH is going to be my standard of living for like half the game. It hits hard. I mean, look at that. And it's got reasonable ammo capacity. And it hits hard. It is extremely expensive, but getting 2 of these is going to make my life a lot easier. Unfortunately, I can't afford 2 at the moment. They're expensive. But I've got 1, which will help immensely. Let's see, for bazookas, I also can't afford to upgrade bazookas further. I know that. Give me the manufacture. So the BU is really good. The EX, yeah, the trisecting shells is also pretty good. I'm not going to be able to build 2 of those either. I can build 1 of each and I'll just fake it. So for equipment, I'm going to go and make that my left-hand weapon. I'm going to get a duplicate of that as soon as I plausibly can. So it does more damage, but it also doesn't have the shotgunning effect. I'm not really good at aiming the BU and getting all of them to connect where I want them to, but it is going. Like there are a couple of bosses that is just going to make mincemeat out of. Multi-missiles are okay. There is validity there, but they slow you down a bunch if you're not boosting like crazy the whole time. They feel, I know, they feel kind of like a missed opportunity, but they can be pretty okay. They're still adequate, but they require 2 weapon slots to equip, and therefore can be a bit problematic to use. I'm gonna have to call it good at that though. Actually, I can at least show off how that looks, since I've got to redo this one anyway. One last one. We'll just redo this one.
Enemy
and hopefully
explosive
not
devices
muck
are
up where we
planted
mucked
all
up
over the
before.
city of Beverly Hills. Destroy.
Actually, it did okay.
Bombs have
so
been
we
laid
don't have
out
to worry
all
about
over
that.
town. Clean up the bombs while destroying the radar jamming stations. That's a radar jamming station. If you destroy it, the bombs will surely show up on radar.
As you can see, it is a
Finally,
little
the bombs
bananas.
are showing
This
up
thing
on
is as
radar.
strong
Oh
as
Lord!
some of my
The National
bazookas.
Guard troops have been defeated. Metal Wolf has annihilated the troops and plans to capture Beverly Hills. His endgame must be money.
Mr. President, that's a bomb.
Those guys are over here. Bomb truck in a sec.
Didn't I just
I
say,
don't know
if
why I ran
approached
into that.
carelessly, it will detonate? Don't be so lax.
Don't be so lax. So to do this this technique, all I'm doing is I'm holding down my boost key, which is I have it set to mouse 4, and then alternating between W and S a lot.
Oh, this looks promising.
Oh, promising, eh? Yeah. Collateral explosions are your friend, by the way. I should probably note that. Oh, no! This is not okay. This is not okay. This is not at all okay. Go home. Want to get on here? Yes, just like that. So as you can see, I'm just
What now? Not again!
ignoring
A
these
battalion
things.
of troops has been defeated.
Oh, put a sock in it.
Truly, the gift that keeps on giving, truly. And I know there's those 2 over here that I muffed before.
Some scientists were among the
two,
POWs
we're
you
good,
rescued.
just
They
run
were
away.
used to develop new weapons for the
They'll
military.
be fine. So that really wide angle allows it will auto track on incoming missiles like nobody's business. Let's see, and I got this one right. Yeah, I got that one. Which was the other one I may have missed? I don't remember. Oh, there's a weapon here. Hello. There's a rhythm. There's a rhythm, and I keep losing it. Where are you? Ah, it's over here.
Metal Wolf has infiltrated the garden of a big mansion, the home of international superstar Money Money Gold. What business
Money,
does Metal
money,
Wolf
more
have
money?
with a $3.2 billion man? Maybe he's going to take out a loan.
So as you can see, it's ow.
Oh man, he's destroying the mansion. Add destruction of personal property to the breaking and entering charges. The U.S. Constitution is downright powerless against Metal Wolf's evil.
shoots out 3 at once. They're strong. I don't need to do any of that though, because this chain gun just eats these alive. Ammo's more of an issue. Where did that bomb come from?
If you destroy the enemy radar jet, destroy all the bombs and liberate the town.
I'm pretty sure this one over here. Get it? Maybe it did, because there was one over here that I had gotten something all that good. We're gonna pop that. A bunch of weapons have pretty short. There we go. Early weapons have a very short attack range. So this GGRH, which the RH usually indicates a Richard Hawk custom or whatever weapon, is exceptional. There is something over here that I missed. Not for very long, though.
Another military position has been destroyed. My fellow Americans, support our troops with all your hearts.
Don't worry about his yammering commentary.
Over here that I flubbed, I don't remember now.
Mr. President, the fuselage damage rate is above 50%. Mr. President, I sense that you are preoccupied and your heart's not in it today.
I can do better, it's true, Jody. I can do much better. Can't do better than Jody, though. She's pretty magnificent. After you beat the game, there is a new game plus. And, with that, there's a, well, special somethings show up. Okay, this tank. I don't want to say this Bradley rather. Bradley analog isn't sure this turret to shoot at me, but it's not. And for this, I am thankful. I could really use a strong sniper rifle for sure. I'm not gonna worry about that for now. No need. Okay, there's a bomb over here somewhere. I think it's on the other side of this wall. I'm going to just run away. There it is. I was way too close and I knew it. Oh, I missed you. I can really see through.
Mr. President, the fuselage damage rate is over 70%. It looks to me like all you've been doing is Googling at those lovely homes.
Googling those lovely homes. Note they do not refer to
The
Google
defense
company
strength
there.
is high against live
It's kinda
ammunition.
Google, I think. Well, I'm gonna Google that, I guess. Let's go. There we go. Fine. This way. Oh. let's do it. Mark this for Lark. Sloppy. Alright. But yeah, the soundtrack is phenomenal. They've got there was originally a soundtrack released for the game when it first came out in 2004. Had like, I don't know, 10 tracks or so. The one that's been released with this iteration, however, has a lot more. It's like 2-3 CDs worth of music. It's $20 and it's well worth it. It is from the glory days when video games took great pride in having incredibly interesting soundtracks. There's a mixture of everything. There's some sort of rap, there's some funk, there's some rock, there's some techno. Come on. Still not getting the rhythm yet. So I'm gonna just mash, because when I mash it works every time. Go. That. Need to get an energy weapon. What I'll probably do is have a GG, Richard RW, and there's another one that'll probably do as well. Where is... So the mission ends when you kill the last bomb. So that's what I want to avoid doing as long as I can. Burst unit is for your burst gauge, appropriately enough. Oh goodness. You do have to hit it midway through in order for that to work. That should do that. Nice. I blew that up already. I don't care about you. I think I missed. There we go. Hovering. Occasionally useful. Not as often as I would like. I think what's that? We got all the POWs. So I'm gonna start that. Yeah,
Metal Wolf has control of the entire town.
Did it.
Any further reporting is
too dangerous. He'll do that a bunch. Yes, there we go. Very nice. Well done. Zebbed. Not too bad, not great. I can do a lot better than that. Okay. I think that's a base level missile launcher and something else. But yeah, late game you start getting some really zany weapons. You get like fireworks launchers, you get a bubble gun, it shoots bubbles, you get a shark gun, you get the beam rifle from the RX-78-2 Gundam. It's pretty rad. So yeah, for now I'm going to have to call it. No, I'm gonna...
The enemy...
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into a mission, and I'm gonna hit save, so it saves, saved. And we're gonna back out. You get, like, You get some great skins as well. You get like you're basically swaddled in an American flag color scheme. It's just fantastic. It's a ton of fun. I'm going to probably be doing streams of this until I clear it for people because it is very much worth it to watch. It's an exceedingly entertaining game. And I hope you people enjoy it too. If you tuned in, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're ready for more of this every Monday. If you didn't tune in, I hope you do. I think you'll enjoy it. And other than that, yeah. Have a great day. See you on Wednesday for my Warframe Wednesday, or Saturday for my Storytime Saturday. Storytime Saturday, I'll be continuing to read Peter Watts's Blind Sight, and hopefully that is enjoyable for people as well. I'm enjoying my reread of it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.